Welcome back to the Barca Breakdown. My name is Youssef, and I'm here with my co-host, Adam.
Hey, guys. Hit that subscribe
No,
button.
more energy.
What an awful, awful game. 3-3 at Celta Vigo. Injuries have outdone us one more time, Use. I mean, what a travesty, right? Like, first half is going good, right? Fati scores a good wonder goal. Then you have Busquets score from outside the box, and then Jordi Alba crosses it to Depay for a third goal. And Use is here screaming, Barjuan ball. Oh, my God. Barjuan is the hero. We need him instead of Xavi.
No, I didn't say that.
And then
that's a lie.
Fati pulls up with a hamstring injury at the end of the first half. Then at the halftime break, you also find out that Eric Garcia is injured, so we put on Arajuo, and we put on Balde, right? And we don't put on Coutinho. And so what you end up having is you only have Depay up front. You don't have any attacking threat. And then the whole second half, we get dominated. I believe they ended the game with more ball time than we did. You know, you have Nolito scoring. You have Aspas scoring at the end after the game should have blown. The whistle should have blown by the ref. They got extra time. I actually really appreciate Frankie de Jong going out there and saying, hey, when we're losing, we get 1 to 2 minutes extra time. Whenever we're winning, they give 5+ minutes, right? It's only in Vigo that you can have the 95th minute end in like the 96th minute. It's just it's incredible.
Although I agree with that, at the same time, we let up 3
goals.
Yeah,
you got to blame ourselves, right?
Our defense was bad. Lenglet was bad. Too many mistakes, too much open space, right? In that second half when we came in, we made those subs like you said. We also had Puig come in, and it just looked like we didn't have
we didn't want to win,
forwards.
Right? Yeah. It's like a common thing, right? There's a famous Xavi quote like Barca die without possession, something like that. And you just know in the second half that the 3 goals were coming, right? They should have actually had 5 goals. I think they had 2 goals disallowed, one for a barely offsides and another one for a handball. And Ter Stegen just didn't do enough. And our whole defense, Busquets, everyone, the whole team just shut off in the second half. It's like mentally we still carry those anxieties from Anfield, from Bayern, right? We just have so much negative energy wearing us down when we see another team coming at us to try and take a victory. And a big part of Xavi, who is officially coach as of Monday, right, this coming Monday, he needs to hire like a sports psychologist. I mean, it's just anytime this team feels a crumble of pressure from another team, it's just like we implode. And the sign for me about how this game was going to go in the second half was when you have Ter Stegen holding the ball for minutes trying to kill time, right? Sure. Once you have Barca, and this has been true for the last 5-6 years, whenever you have our team trying to kill time, we're going to lose, because that means that, from the goalkeeper to the defense, midfield, attackers, everyone has kind of lost confidence and they think we need to just kill time. Barca are best when we're out there trying to make goals happen constantly, trying to press players, right, when we lose the ball, and then when we have the ball, making quick outlets. And then, in that second half, like I was saying, we only had Depay up front. I didn't know what we expected to happen with only one real attacker on the field.
We fell asleep, right? Because we talked about this last night when we were discussing general fatigue of players, right? After so many minutes, players do get tired. But coming into that second half, it wasn't fatigue, I think, that onset. I think it was definitely just a laziness, psychological. They didn't come out to defend. They didn't come out to score. It seemed like the subs we made, unfortunately, were all really young players too, and that does not it does not support a stronger play on the pitch, right?
The good thing, though, that I have to say is Fati looked wonderful before he got hurt.
True.
Right? He scored that amazing goal. He looked like he was out there running. Fati has a certain chip on his shoulder and trying to annoy defenses that I actually enjoy. I feel like we don't have that bite to our team anymore like we used to have with Neymar and Suarez.
Sure.
And then, Nico looks really good too. But now they've both pulled up with injuries, which is just awful. And, one thing that I'm really disappointed is it seems like Mingueza keeps regressing. And it's just so hard to imagine because of how hyped we were on him last season. But I think he really performs best in a back three, right, instead of when he's playing as a right back.
Sure.
And so, overall the team, it's a real struggle, and this could have been 3 points to really help us out, trying to keep things afloat for Xavi to see if we can, get top 4, but he's got a hell of a job coming up.
2 things though, right? I think that Celta Vigo came out after the second half in more of a defensive smart attack. Like they upped their defense, upped their attack on both sides, right? They cut down the spaces that we had available. Although we, like you said,
because there were no outlets.
No,
right?
I know, but we lost our attacking front, right? So we didn't really have those outlets. And on top of that, Celta Vigo's 15th on the table? Well, they were. Now somewhere around there. This is a team we should have beaten, right? We had 3-0 at the start, and we should have been able to hold on to that. It just shows how we have a lack of ability to keep up our stamina, to keep up our mental and physical, to keep up our energy, our confidence.
At the end of the day, there's really no huge things we can be happy about, as messed up as that is to say, right? We were happy about Dembele. He gets hurt. We're happy about Fati. He gets hurt. Nico provides us that press-resistant and forward-looking passing. He gets hurt. So there were good signs, but all the good signs are injured.
No, I know, and that's what I was going to say. We're still on kind of a skeleton crew here, right? Like, once we lose all these front men, now we're just playing all these, like, 17-year-olds, which is, I understand they need time, but at the same time, it can't be our whole team.
But you're falling into the trap that Koeman fell into.
No,
which I feel like is just wait till we get healthy. But if we're getting more injured, then you can't keep saying, well, wait till we get healthy. You know,
no,
like we need to do something now to right the ship. And we're hoping Xavi will be that guy.
Sure. But it's definitely towards the players too. Like they can't hold the defense, right? Or the offense on Celta Vigo. They just did not have the man-to-man closing. They had bad fouls near the end. At one point Mingueza should have caused that penalty, right?
Yeah.
That should have been against us. We should have probably lost a goal there.
Lenglet should have had, a yellow, maybe a red, right, for pulling that jersey when the guy was on like a breakaway.
Like we're definitely making mistakes, and they're bad mistakes, especially like someone who was like Lenglet, who he's always been making mistakes, but like he had so much playtime before. He should be able to close down his man a little bit better.
Kind of, but at the same time, has he had that much playtime? Like
we've been talking when he was playing a lot, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but you got to look at this season, right? Sure. And that's kind of what part of the story of that second half is. You have a lot of players out there who don't play together, and I know it's because of injuries. We have to have them start, but when you have Balde, Mingueza, Lenglet, Arajuo, who's just coming back from injury, like the core of that defense. And even some of the midfield, like Riqui Puig, they're just not seasoned players with experience. And so, that's what's so hard about this is like it's not easy to blame the coach. It's really easy to blame the players, right? Jordi Alba, Mingueza, Ter Stegen, again, not looking good. So it's just a mix. It's a mixed bag of players just really underperforming for the level that they should be at. And then injuries just costing us, right? If Fati and Nico don't get hurt, I think you don't see anything near what we saw in that second half. But that's part of playing the game is that you have to go through these injuries and experience.
I just don't get how we can let up 3 goals and completely fall asleep. Like it was just bad that we came out in the second half and completely changed the whole situation.
Well, okay, who are you going to put on offensively? Coutinho? We have all seen that Coutinho is really not providing anything, right? And then, okay, Yusuf Demir hasn't really played all season since the preseason. What other offensive players do we have? There's none, right? So then you put on these, Balde. Depay, you have to put on Arajuo because we have a center back injured. Yeah, we don't have Aguero. We don't have Braithwaite, and so it's just it's more of a psychological thing than anything, in my opinion. It's just a continued theme that we've seen for years, where Frankie De Jong, right? He's been here enough that he's part of that crew. Jordi Alba, Busquets. Like these players, Lenglet has been on a lot of those big losses that we face. And like whenever they see adversity, they don't rise to the occasion, right? There was a good comment on the ESPN broadcast about how there wasn't really any leadership. There's no one on that team who's ready to get there, grill people, help, command the defense, right? That's why people yearn for like Mascherano or Puyol, these players who, when the defense was starting to get rocked, they would be there and try to like at least provide some leadership and let players know, hey, we're here. We need to have confidence. Get your head in the game. There's nothing like that. When things start to slide with this team, they just slide down and down.
Sure. I mean, not to get too negative, that was very negative, all of that. I mean, we scored 3 away goals, which I don't think we've done all season, right? And our away performance was much better at the beginning. Yeah. There were some small highlight performances in this case, like you're saying, Gavi and Nico are players that seem to be exceeding and getting better, which is great to see, but we can't just fall apart and crumble. That's the hardest part to watch, is this Barca team finally getting some traction, and then it just falls apart. And
all right,
it's hard.
Let's take a deep breath, Hughes. Because now Xavi's coming in, right? Sure. And I think if you look at this game, you get a bit of a view into what he needs to improve, right? One is we need to become more press resistant, which Xavi, of course, as a player is synonymous with press resistance. 2, we need to have mental toughness. And I don't know if the team needs to hire a new sports psychologist. I don't know, what exactly we're going to be able to do to get people more confident, but clearly that's an area. And then 3rd is the physio team, right? Like, it's just there are too many injuries on this team for me to believe that something is not wrong with
It's
how we're
systematic
training,
or
with how we're recovering. You know, there's too many injuries, and so now we have a clear path for what Xavi needs to improve. But as we've been saying, and I feel like we say this after every episode, like we really need to prepare to have the lowest expectations this season, because we need to give Xavi the time to improve this, because, you know, in some sense, him coming in after this game might be a blessing, and including the period where Koeman was in charge and we played like, you know, doo-doo, lost 3-0 to Bayern and Benfica. Like, we want him to come in with the lowest expectations so that it's not going to be February and all the fans are calling for Xavi to resign because, you know, we're not doing that well. We're starting so low that hopefully the team, the fans, everyone, the board will have patience with Xavi and allow him to build a project, because Xavi's here for hopefully 4 to 5 years, not 2 years. You know, this is a project where I'm hoping we're peaking 2 to 3 seasons from now. So let's see. But if you can, please subscribe to our channel. Let us know your thoughts in the comments about what you want to see Xavi improve the most. We got a video coming up about Xavi right before the international break ends, so we will see you guys then. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.